Hey, seventh graders, welcome back. I am so happy that we are in second quarter. It was a really rocky first quarter, and we got a lot of neat stuff done. A lot of stuff wasn't done, but that doesn't matter because starting today, everybody has an A. Let's keep it that way. Um, Along with our new quarters, I've also set up new Google Classrooms. I know this is a little bit confusing, but this is going to give us all a clean slate to start with. So, if you open up your Google Classroom, you'll see all your classes and an invitation to join my new Google Classroom. It says Q2 underneath that. If you can see that, that means this is for quarter two. So click on that, accept the invitation. And just a reminder, like I've done in last quarter, I primarily want you to be looking at your classwork tab. So you have the stream tab and the classwork tab. Sometimes I might give you an assignment where you make comments on the classwork tab, but generally speaking, or on the stream tab, but generally speaking, everything should be in the classwork. So week one is what we're working on this week, and you'll see a new assignment as I post them. And if you are a virtual student, you'll just do it with the video that I'm like recording now or something on Wednesday. If you are an in-person student, then we'll walk through the assignments as we go along, except on Virtual Wednesday. So you guys know the drill. Just one more note here on classwork. You'll see if you scroll down another category called sub-lessons. Do not worry about this. Don't do any assignments. Don't stress out about it. That's just in case I need to be gone for the day or gone for a week. We have assignments all ready to go to assign to you from the substitute teacher. So don't worry about that. You're not being graded on it unless I pop it back up into a week. Just so you guys see the background, I can just drag it up there, and then it's part of your assignments for that week. So unless you see that, don't worry about it. Okay, let's look at today's assignment. We are continuing our study of the book A Long Walk to Water. And we read the first three chapters. We went back and looked through chapters 1 and 2 if you're here in class. And now we're going to go through chapter 3 again. And we've been doing something called GIST, which gives us, it's your first idea of what the story or the text is mostly about. And we've been using this template. I'm going to blow this up and get rid of my face here. We've been using this template in class, and I've asked you virtual students to look at this too and use it. But I'm going to have us all go now to using the digital version of it. Just for simplicity, especially if we do get shut down, it's here. And so if you are a virtual student, you probably have most of this done, or you should. What we're going to do is make sure that we have columns 1 through 5 filled for chapters 1, 2, and 3. So you can I'll just type them in here. Chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Okay? So this is showing that I want you, if you are a virtual student, to make sure you've transferred all your notes over here. If you're an in-person student, we'll do this in class where you take your written notes and you put them here as well. And so you should have the gist of Naya's and Salva's stories all the way across chapters 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that shouldn't take us too long because we've already done most of that work, but it's important to keep in mind the whole story and see how Naya's story and Salva's story connect. So let's move down then. After you're complete with this, you want to move down. This worksheet should look familiar to you as well, especially if you're an in-class student because we spent some time on this. What's this? This is our detail inference worksheet where you look for a detail in the passage, you know where it's found, and then you make an inference about the text. So I gave you some examples, and I copied those here again just so you could see them. For example, we have a quote, Salva had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. As each boy reached the age of about 10 years old, he was sent off to school. And then we're going to bring the inference that tells us something about how culture, time, and place have impact their identity. So, in Salva's culture, schooling is only for boys. He feels grateful and takes school seriously. Those are some inferences we've made from the text based on the detail or evidence. And you should be familiar with this by now, but I wanted to walk through it with you again and make sure you had examples. So, The second one was the war had started 2 years earlier. Salva did not understand much about it, but he knew that rebels from the southern part of Sudan, where he and his family lived, were fighting against the north. Note again, the page number is marked, which is so important. And then the inference, Salva is growing up in the 1980s. We know that he is 11 years old in 1985. The war started 2 years ago. And then we could add this affects his identity because. So here's what I want you to do for this assignment. I want you to review your reader's notes up here and then take something from chapter 3, and put it in here. Your favorite quote, your favorite detail, your favorite inference from the text. Put it here, put your quote, and then put the inference on this side. And we'll compare notes in class and virtually as we go throughout the week. That's what I have for you today. Go get started if you're virtual, and I'll see you later this afternoon if you are in person.